Team Excel, it's John here, and I'm going to kind of offer you some tips here. I do this a lot on my own personal channel, John Pep Fitness, but I want to bring it to you guys on the Xceleration Fitness channel and kind of reach this audience as well. So I want to be talking to you today about basically small changes within your health and fitness versus big changes. So small changes are going to be a lot more sustainable, and you can get a lot more done with small changes versus if you're trying to, if you just break it up, or if you don't break it up, your goal, whatever it is, and say you want to lose weight, but you need to lose 80 pounds, you have 80 pounds to lose, and you say, I'm going to lose 80 pounds. Well, we have to break that up into smaller goals and smaller changes overall to reach that, because chances are if you just say, I'm going to lose 80 pounds, it's not going to happen, versus if you break it up into smaller goals. I want to lose a pound a week. I want to lose, half pound a week. I want to do whatever it happens to be. It's going to be a lot more sustainable. So I got some different examples here and kind of facets of fitness that this applies to. And also one thing I want to say is there's a lot of fitness programs and nutritional stuff out there that promises huge results, right? Huge results. But the thing is, you might get those results, but you're probably going to go back to where you were, or at least a lot of the people will go back to where they were, because there isn't any, there isn't a learning process that occurs with it, and there isn't all those other things that are going to teach you how to sustain it. It's not sustainable. So sustainability is key when it comes to fitness, guys. It's absolutely key. It's almost the most important thing. So first thing I wanted to talk about is kind of examples that I run into a lot and just hear a lot, and just kind of see through experience what happens with certain things nutritionally. And the first one is lowering carbs. So a lot of times people have sky high carb intakes, right? But if we want to lower those, don't try to drop, say you probably need 80 grams of carbs out of your diet, right? Because they're just coming from not, unhealthy sources, they're not good carbs, and they're just excessive. So with that, don't try to drop 80 grams at once, all right? You're probably not going to last, because you're going to have cravings. You're going to have, maybe your energy levels aren't going to be the same because you're used to that. You're going to be hungry. So try, each week drop consistently 10 to 20 grams. So maybe you're dropping out 10 grams of carbs, which really isn't that hard, and you won't even notice the difference. But then you do that over time, and you keep dropping 10 carbs, and then 8, 9, 10 weeks from now, you got 80 grams of carbs out of your diet that you didn't need, and that were just hurting you. So think of it long term, right? So start small changes add up to big results. Then number 2, I see a lot, is with protein intake. So protein intake is huge, because a lot of people aren't getting nearly enough protein, and they don't even realize it. So I can't tell you how many times, I've sat down with someone and be like, what are we looking at here? And for protein, they pull up their food log, and it's 50 grams of protein. That's it, right? And they're doing heavy strength training, 3 days a week, or whatever the program happens to be, but they need more than that, right? And they just don't understand. Like, they don't realize they're not getting enough. So with this too, add in 10, maybe add in a hard-boiled egg, after your workout, or add in a protein shake or something, or eggs in the morning. Add in, one meal with a little extra protein, 10 to 20 grams for 1 week. Just do that for 1 week. Yeah, well, it's not optimal. You're not to that optimal intake if you're only at 50 grams, but if you do that for a week, you get used to it. Then, okay, add in, another hard-boiled egg or something. Add in another 10 grams. And then you build up to that point where you're at an adequate intake, and you're good to go. So that's big, guys, is kind of smaller increases or decreases when it comes to diet. Then when it comes to overall weight loss, so there's some things to remember here, guys. 35, so talking very, very macro levels, so overall, just calories right now, and then I'll break it down. I mean, we kind of did break it down, but calorie-wise, there's 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. So that breaks down to, if you're losing a half pound a week, which really isn't that much, we can do more than that, but a half pound a week is pretty conservative. that is a 1,750 calorie deficit. And now with that deficit, that breaks down to 250 calories a day. So really, that's not that much. So if you don't exercise, that's adding in, a workout, a good workout, 250 calories, and maintaining. Say you maybe, I know a lot of people do the diet side of things, but then don't necessarily exercise. So if you got the diet on point, you're at maintenance level of calorie wise. Then you add in a workout, 250 calories off. You do that every day, then you meet that goal. Or you drop out a little bit, food wise. So you just got to remember that's not that much per day, guys. It doesn't have to be crazy. Drastic is not good. Okay, drastic is not good. You don't want to have huge deficits of 1,000, 1,500 calorie deficits where you're not eating. Right? I see that so many times. People just think the key to weight loss is not eating, but that's not the case at all, guys. Small little changes add up to big results. So small little changes add up to big results. Then this can also be transferred over to the strength side of things, right? So a lot of times newer lifters or people who are newer to lifting want to make, huge progress on their, say we'll just keep it at the big three: squat, bench, deadlift, right? Just for the sake of ease. So they want to make huge gains on that, which is great. And at first they will make those big gains, those big PRs, because their body isn't used to, lifting in that fashion. So as the nervous system adapts to that, they're going to have the nervous system gains of strength. So maybe the muscle tissue isn't actually changing that much. It's changing, but not at that rapid of a rate. But their nervous system is adapting to it, say the bench press pattern or the squat pattern, the deadlift pattern. So they're getting more efficient at it. They can do a lot more weight more easily. So with that, you got to realize you're not going to have huge PRs, right, all the time. It might happen here and there. You might have a 20, 25, 30 pound PR, but those are rare, guys. 5 pound PRs are still PRs. This is something I learned from listening and reading Louis Simmons from Westside Barbell, powerlifting coach and athletic performance coach, and kind of like the godfather of powerlifting, they call him in the US. But if you're not familiar with him, if you're interested in strength, he's the guy to listen to, or one of the guys to listen to. But I really took that because I was one of those people that was like, all right, I want to go for a 20 pound PR. I feel awesome today. And then I'd miss and end up not hitting a PR, and it increases the possibility of getting hurt when you do that. It's not beneficial. Maybe you'll hit it, but I mean, what's it worth for, cool, you got a 20 pound PR, but you could have dialed it back, got a 5 pound PR, put a lot less stress on your nervous system, on your body, not risk as much injury, and then kind of the live to fight another day thing. Because I mean, I've hurt my shoulder doing that on bench. Like I tried to go for a big PR, and my elbow flew up, boom, rotator cuff injury, not fun, all right? So you just got to realize a 5 pound PR is still a PR. And then mentally too, I mean, mentally this is huge, right? So if you get a PR, every 2 weeks, every week, whatever it happens to be, I mean, every week is pretty darn good if you're doing that. But I mean, at the beginning level, that's very, very doable. I mean, if you get a PR every single week, man, that's gonna be huge mentally, because when you come back the next week, you're like, okay, I got a PR last week, I feel good, and if you squeak out another one, awesome. And then it just kind of, versus having going for a 20 pound PR, missing, and being like, man, I haven't hit a PR in 4 months. Well, yeah, because you're going for huge jumps that you're not ready for, right? And you're putting yourself at risk for injury, and you're putting way too excessive stress on your nervous system, so maybe you're not recovering long or fast enough to hit the PR next time. So it's all just, it's a game that you gotta learn, and with experience, it's an experience thing as well. But just remember, 5 pound PRs are still PRs. So that's just some of the examples, guys, within probably the 4 biggest things I see, within fitness and coaching and in my own experiences training, with small changes versus big changes. So just remember, guys, it's all about sustainability in the long term, right? It's the long term, not what you're going to be a week from now, but what you're going to be 3 years from now, right? Because we want this fitness journey to last the rest of your life. We want it to go from here until the day that you die. You are, able to work out and work towards, a healthier body, a better you, increase all the benefits. I mean, you guys know the benefits of health and fitness, training. So just keep that in mind, guys. Small changes add up to long-term success and big changes. So that is it, guys. If you have any topics that you want me or any of the coaches, Ben, Matt, Nick, Sean, anybody to talk about, we're really trying to ramp up our YouTube game here. We all kind of do it on our own with our own channels, and really want to kind of but add another facet to the acceleration game here and just our presence online, guys. So if you have anything at all that you have questions about, things that you haven't heard a very good explanation of, if you just confused on what to do here or there, check or drop a comment, or just hit us up in class if you're a member, or hit us up on social media. I'll link up everybody's stuff in the description below, just so you guys have it. And then we can go from there. But also check out, guys, the Xceleration podcast. Every Friday we're dropping a new podcast. Super excited about this, guys. Last week was the first episode and got really good kind of response and feedback from it, and it's only gonna be getting better. We're gonna have some badass guests on it and just keep building it. So check that out, guys. Other than that, keep chasing it. And here's the man himself, Ben.
I just drank a whole bottle of peppermint oil. You're only supposed to drink a drop, but I drink a whole bottle.
On that note, guys, keep chasing it.